you have. So this model, we're going to have a lot of practical exercises. It's a well-designed course that is aimed at stretching anybody who has special love for business and the corporate world, entrepreneurship, and so on. So I would like you to have an open mind as we go through this course and prepare your questions at the end of the session. And also note that this course has some practical exercises that we are going to select some, and we're going to make it your assignments that you have to do. And of course, you know that this program is structured in a way, attendance of the class has marks. Your engagement during the class, either through comments or questions, have marks, and your submission of assignments have marks, and your engagement in the WhatsApp community have marks. So that's how we grade in all these areas. Of course, you know that. So we need your attention and exchange as much as possible. Good. So we're looking at entrepreneurial leadership, which is a very core part of strategic thinking for executives and entrepreneurs. And this course is going to help us to dig deep into the fundamental building pillars of a functioning business or institution. And I always say that in a corporate institution or in any business, maybe you can see co-founders, or in a traditional company, I always say that a company that will go places should have leaders, should have entrepreneurs, and should have entrepreneurial leaders. And the big boy of it all is entrepreneurial leaders. And I like to call them the game changers. When you have the mindset of an entrepreneur and that of a leader, it gives you some unique perspective. But this is beyond you taking the definition of a leader and the definition of an entrepreneur, merging together and forming what you call an entrepreneurial leader. But this is going to go further and stretch you. One thing that may happen is that you will discover that there are some things that we'll talk about that you have been doing and you have not been paying attention to them. And because you don't know that they're very important in your career journey as an executive or an entrepreneur. And there are some that you're going to learn for the first time, and you need to start practicing them so you can achieve the results that you desire. So let us start with the fundamentals. Who is an entrepreneurial leader? Entrepreneurial leaders identify the problem, determine the solution, and ensure that the required actions get implemented. Now, many times, entrepreneurs end with identifying the problem and determining the solution. But a leader comes into the entrepreneur and ensure that you know the required actions and you know how to implement those actions to get the results that the business desires. This could be a problem of distribution, and you are able to create a solution around that problem, and you're able to lead in designing the action steps to implement this solution, and you ensure that the results that we are predetermined are actually achieved. That is the job of an entrepreneurial leader. Now, let's go deeper. Now, for us to understand detailing who an entrepreneurial leader is, let us look at some habits. There are some core habits that an effective entrepreneurial leader should actually practice. But let's look at this quote by Jen Weisman. When I think about entrepreneurial leadership, I am referring to something bigger than simply treating your employees well or motivating them to get the job done. This is what traditional leadership is all about. whereby with a leader needs should be somebody who can treat people better, who can motivate people to go in an extra mile to get the job done. But according to Jane, it is about making a complete change in how you regard your company. In other words, when you have done this course as an entrepreneur, one of the things I expect is to see a 360-degree change in how your startup operates, because you're going to learn some drastic things that are so powerful when you implement them in your business. Once you view your business through a leadership lens, you will see that the burden of running your business does not fall on you alone. It is an extremely uplifting and positive framework for entrepreneurship. So you're trying to look at what kind of resources in terms of human resources can you leverage and get things done with a clear action plan, with concise implementation, or what I like to call ruthless implementation, like seamless implementation. The implementation that comes from the place of self-discipline. You get things done whether you feel like doing it or not. That is the mindset of an entrepreneurial leader. Number one is know yourself. The number one habit of entrepreneurial leaders is for them to know themselves. Because it is difficult for you to create a strategy when you don't know your core strength or what you are excellent at. Entrepreneurial leaders know who they are and what is meaningful to them. They have a purpose in life and work. They have a purpose in life and work, and knowing why they started their companies and why they lead them. Yes, you need to know, why did I start this business? Why did I get into this job? Why did I accept the promotion at my job site to become a supervisor, to become a departmental director? And why do you lead the business? Why do you lead the business? They understand how their businesses fit in their industry and their community. Very powerful here. This is a very powerful piece. Why? Because majority of entrepreneurs around us just run their business and they forget to ensure that their business have a place in their industry and their community, and not just a place, but a leadership place, what I like to call brand leadership. When you see a company that is being led by an entrepreneurial leader, one of the signs is that that company or that business is performing some level of brand leadership in that industry or in that community. Now, there's this exercise I love people to do, entrepreneurs and executives to do. Write down what is meaningful to you. What is your purpose in this life? How does your business fit in the community? This is an assignment I have to do on your own. I'm not expecting to submit this particular one. We're going to go to the ones, and I'll tell you the ones you have to submit through email. But just create time and do this. What is your purpose in this life? That business that you work for workers, how do you think your business, your company where you work fit in Cameroon as a community, fit in the Douala community or Yaoundé community? If you run a business, a startup, how do you think your startup fit in your village, in your quarter, in your community where the business operates? Very important. Habit number two is that entrepreneurial leaders have a vision and are able to articulate this vision. Yes, they have a vision, step one, but they are able to articulate this vision in a way that employees can understand, in a way that their target market can understand, in a way that any stakeholder, either a direct stakeholder or an indirect stakeholder, can understand. So you must have a vision of what your business is all about. what it does, how it serves its stakeholders. I need to, who are these stakeholders? What does your business do? You need to establish this. This is very important, especially for startups. And how is that business serving the stakeholders? And where is the business going? And that's why the vision cannot be vague. An entrepreneurial leader must be able to articulate this vision so that others are inspired and people can join together to work for a common goal. That's the power of articulating your vision. And this power of articulating is very important for the team and startups. Why? Because as a startup executive, you are always in a place that you don't have enough money to pay your staff the high salary that larger companies can pay. So you need to give your staff something bigger that they can believe in. And that is the vision. Where are you taking this business to? And do they see themselves as part of this vision? Give them something more than salary. Give them something more than money. Very important. So write down your vision and say it loud to yourself. Make sure that your vision has deadlines and numbers to achieve. Very important. Make sure your vision has deadlines and numbers. So that's why you get to hear companies say that we have a 3-year strategic plan. We have a 2030 vision, 2035, 2020, 2025, and so on. And they put numbers to it. Maybe you hear a company say that by 2025, we would like to be in 7 sub-Saharan African countries and having a market share of 20% and serving a total of 5 million clients and making a profit of $10 million annually. That is the vision that has deadlines and has numbers. For startup entrepreneurs here, I want to challenge you. Create a vision for yourself, for your startup. Break it down into 3-year vision, 5 years vision, 10 years vision. That's what I did for my startup. And that's what I encourage my clients to do. It helps them to be in perspective and to know whether they are succeeding or they are failing. For some of you working in companies, if you are not in top management level, you will not know that these documents exist. In some companies, they actually share it in an email form so that all employees know the vision of the business. Number 3 is entrepreneurial leaders develop employees and help them to grow. That is, these kind of leaders are committed to people who work for them. They help employees develop their own talents and skills. That is, this is done primarily through training. And that's why I see that employees make a commitment to you. When you make a commitment to them, this is a very important statement. When employees feel that you're committed to their growth, you're committed to their success, you're committed to their career advancement, they become committed to you and to the business and to the vision. And entrepreneurial leaders know that it is essential to help employees grow so that the business can flourish into the future. The rate of skills development, the rate of talent development that employees go through in a business determines how far that business is going to grow, because employees can only perform for a business according to the level of the skills that they have and they can use for the sake of the business. And that is why you look at global companies. It is said that among Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 companies, these companies spend not less than $56 million annually on employee training and development, because there is power in that. Are your employees or an exercise for executives? Are your employees or interns or volunteers where they need help to perform better? Ask your employees or interns where they need help to perform better. It's very important. You can ask them, where do you need help to become a better employee? Or they may say, you know what, I need a training on Microsoft Excel. I need a training on content creation. I need a training on this and that and that. Ask our employees which set of skills they would love to learn and tell them how you will help them acquire these skills. You can tell them, okay, you know what? The company is going to pay for a training for you. The company is going to hire a trainer to come and all of that. It's very, very important. Number three, listen carefully. One of the most powerful skills for entrepreneurial leaders and executives, and a very powerful skill when you are in a position where you have to develop strategy for the business. You need to learn how to listen to the right people. Entrepreneurial leaders always listen to employees, clients, mentors, and others. They also listen to competitors. They listen to government policies. They listen to any vital information that can influence the operations of their business. And they make decisions based not only on their own understanding of facts and situations, but also based on what they are hearing from a variety of sources. Therefore, they not only create productive workplaces, but they provide clients and customers with products and services they need and demand. How is this possible? Because they are able to listen to clients' complaints, to clients' feedback, to clients' recommendations and suggestions, to clients' expectations. When they listen to all of this, there is no way that you can build a product that are going to waste your time. And this is whereby idea validation comes in. You go through idea validation process to ensure that you listened the right way, you heard the right things, and you actually know what to do. Okay, if you're following, please indicate that you're following in the chat box.
Yeah, I'm following.
Excellent.
It's super.
Good. Number 5, one of my favorite habits of entrepreneurial leaders. One of my favorite habits of entrepreneurial leaders is they know how to implement new ideas. They know how to implement new ideas. They know how to implement new ideas. Very powerful habit for entrepreneurs. You need to know how to implement new ideas as an executive. An entrepreneurial leader is willing to innovate and take risks in good times and in bad times. The business climate is always changing. Being flexible and finding opportunities to launch new initiatives or new strategy or a new product or a service is very key to business success. So you have this knack, you have this clear interest and desire to always lead the discovery of new ideas or opportunities and leading the implementation of these ideas. So when you have this desire or this passion, it is proof that you are an entrepreneurial leader, and it helps you to be ahead of the game. Exercise, ask your team about new ideas they have that can be implemented. I love this exercise because many a times we don't have the culture of innovation in many companies. Sometimes it's hard for executives to ask their employees what they would like to implement as new ideas. They don't give them chance to be flexible or to push and try new things. The second exercise is list 3 new ideas you will be implementing in your business in the next 4 months. Everybody take note. This is the first exercise. I am expecting an email. I'm expecting you guys to do and send before Friday. Just jot it down. You can screenshot us and keep. There'll be about 4 of them that you have to do all together and send 2 emails. Exercise number 1, class delegates take notes and reshare in the class. Do this particular exercise and send through email by Friday, 1 out of the 3 or 4 exercises for today's class. This is for startup guys, entrepreneurs who are here, for you, for those who are employees, maybe you're head of department or you just head your office and all of that. I would like to see you describing on how you would bring new ideas into your office or your department. Habit number 6, take good care of yourself and stay curious. Yes. Leaders, like entrepreneurial leaders, take time for themselves and for being with family and friends. Why? Because this has been proven that it's one of the best ways to detoxify or to actually overcome pressure, because too much pressure at work limits curiosity and innovation. And it has been discovered that when leaders or executives spend time with family and friends and try to detach themselves from the serious executive mindset, they're able to refresh their mind and come back with creative ideas. So that's why vacations, hobbies, and interests outside of work are strongly recommended for busy executives. So an entrepreneurial leader needs time for contemplation. They need time to be able to see his or her own business through a different lens. Most importantly, they stay curious. An entrepreneurial leader is always interested in what is going on in the world and never stops learning. They're always looking at what will change in my industry, what may change, what may not change, what are people excited about, what are the new technologies, what are the new political policies, what are the new cars, what are the new, whatever. You just try to stretch yourself a bit and try to be as curious as possible, because you can find connections. You can find connections that you can bring together and be able to create something new, or you're able to lead your business to be 10 steps ahead of what may happen or may not happen. So those are the various habits of an entrepreneurial leader. Now let us look quickly at 3 traits of entrepreneurial leaders according to Hasib Amin. Number 1, entrepreneurial leaders manages risk rather than minimizing risk. This is very, very controversial, because many a times you must have heard that people talk about minimize risk, minimize risk. And it is often said, or there's a school of thought which believes that when you have the mindset of trying to minimize risk, you always avoid a lot of opportunities, because when you are not able to see how you can minimize the risk, you may not embark on that new idea or that new project. But if you find risk in a project or in a new idea and you find a way to manage the risk, you focus on how can I, you know what, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to manage this risk. You're not finding a way to minimize it, you're finding a way to manage it. You always have this mind of going ahead with it. Leaders help organizations to avoid risks and guide them through a safe path. This is what a traditional manager would do. But an entrepreneurial leader is one who takes risk when he knows that these risks can work. Done properly, this can be like a Midas touch for the organization to grow and become something bigger. These leaders know how to manage risk effectively. They know how to manage risk effectively. So you know that there is risk. We are looking at, yes, with this risk, how do I manage this risk? What are the strategies I can put in place? What are the technicalities I can put in place to ensure that even though this risk is there, I know what to do. I know the things I can put in place to actually manage this risk. Number 2 is entrepreneurial leaders are able to identify opportunities. Identify opportunities. So if I say that you are an entrepreneurial leader, it means that you have this uncanny ability to sniff out opportunities where others see maybe just problems, or they don't see any opportunity at all. So you use this advantage of yours to take advantage of situations that only you can imagine, right? So a new term was coined by Saraswati in 2001 to explain the process of opportunity identification shown by entrepreneurial leaders, known as effectuation. effectuation. So you're able to take advantage of the situation and effect change. Maybe when just very few people can see, you're able to look at the situation and you can connect the dots and create an opportunity that very, very few people can see, and you lead your team to take advantage of this opportunity, to effect this opportunity that can take the company forward in a very positive direction. Number three trend is that they are open to ideas from anyone. Entrepreneurial leaders are one of the people that listen to anybody. Whether you're stupid, you're intelligent, you're from the village, you're from town, you have money, you are broke, whatever, they are very conscious that they can create opportunities from anybody. Anybody can chip in something that can influence their ideas in a different direction. If you look at all the great entrepreneurial leaders, they are all open to new ideas that they may come from any source. They are happy to work with diverse group of people who have different views in order to achieve a common goal. Unlike traditional leaders or maybe traditional managers who would like to work with a team who all hold the same views, or maybe they are the only ones that make decisions. They are the only ones that give the ideas. No, you are not an entrepreneurial leader. You are able to create an atmosphere or an ecosystem whereby you are always listening to new ideas from different sets of people. So what key lessons have you learned from the key threats, and where will you apply them in the next few days? Good. Now, this is a very important part of the course. How entrepreneurial leadership affects an organization. Now, you're about to learn this. You have been learning who you need to become as far as entrepreneurial leader is concerned. Now, how do they really bring this change into the organization? How does you learning this perform better in the organization? Number one is that the organization is able to go through adaptability. It's able to have this important organizational skill called adaptability. The first effect that can be seen from implementing the process or the habit or the traits of entrepreneurial leadership in an organization is the high adaptability it creates. Through this, an organization can successfully compete in a market using the resources it has. In other words, their business model becomes flexible and can effectively use whatever resources it has. Why? Because the leader in place has an agile mindset, has a very flexible mindset that they can fit in any condition, they can manage any risk, they are open to new ideas, and they have also trained their team members to have this same mindset. In the present dispensation, adaptability has been rated among the top 5 skills every executive should have, especially within and after COVID-19. Adaptability is rated a top skill for executives. Number 2 is competitiveness. Yes, if you have this mindset of entrepreneurial leadership, one proof is that your startup becomes very competitive in the market. Your business becomes very competitive because instead of you minimizing risks and running away from taking action, what are you doing? You're managing risk and taking the company forward. Instead of you being ashamed of being corrected, you have the entrepreneurship mindset that you have to be open to new ideas and connect these ideas together and form an innovative idea and implement. When you do these traits and these habits, automatically the business or the institution becomes very competitive. So that's why it is said here that when an organization, when a startup behaves in an entrepreneurial manner, it gains an advantage as a pioneer in new markets. Why? Because they're able to create products that everybody else may not be able to create if they are practicing traditional way of managing the business. Organizations or startups can have a competitive edge and explore new markets, which will not be possible under traditional leadership. Number three is retention of talent. Yes, when a startup practices entrepreneurial leadership, there's high retention of talent. People don't resign anyhow because you know how to deal with people. You know how to listen to new ideas. You know how to inspire your people and articulate your vision clearly in a way that they believe in the future of the business. And they see themselves as part of this beautiful vision that you're articulating. Entrepreneurial environments always bring out a positive feeling among employees and help an organization to successfully develop, motivate, and retain talented people. Thus, there is less talent spilling over or maybe resignation and all of that from your organization to that of a competitor. You retain talent. People who are excellent at their work stay with you because you are leading them well. They see room for growth. They see the company is growing. They see innovation. They see agility. They see opportunities. They see how they're leading the market. They see that you accept their ideas, you turn their ideas into products and you implement them. And they stay with the business and they continuously do their best. Good. What key lessons have you learned? How entrepreneurial leadership affects an organization and where will you apply them in the next few days? This is the second exercise, the second assignment, that you have to do and send through email. Assignment number 2, add to the first one. So I would like you to go back to those area, to this point so far, how entrepreneurial leadership affects an organization, adaptability, competitiveness, retention of talent. What key lessons have you learned on how entrepreneurial leadership affects an organization? And where will you apply them the next few days? What will you start doing different in terms of adaptability, competitiveness, and retention of talent? Good. Now, for you to be strategic, for you to have a mindset that can enable you to be so strategic that you can influence your business and take it 10 steps ahead as a corporate executive or an entrepreneur, there are some questions that you need to ask as an entrepreneurial leader. And these are questions that, as I discuss, I would like you to look at your business that you run as an entrepreneur or an executive. A, what is the most critical customer pain point we want to solve? We spoke about this during the idea validation model. A good entrepreneurial leader should have a clear response to this question. If you call yourself that you are a strategic leader and you are leading a strategic organization, you should always have this question, answer to this question. What is the most critical customer pain point we want to solve? And here's the one fact. The pain point for 2021 may not be the same pain point in 2022. That's why I need to continuously ask this question as an entrepreneurial leader. Number 2, the big question I need to ask is, are we building a valuable solution to this pain point? Are we building a valuable solution to this pain point? Yes. Yes, you have identified the critical pain point. Do you have the skill? Do you have the experience? Have you actually built that valuable solution for that pain point? C is, are we using feedback to improve? A good entrepreneurial leader is addicted to feedback. They leverage on feedback and ideas of different people and build incredible businesses. The fourth question is, are we as a team ready to serve our customers beyond their expectations? Are we as a team ready to serve our customers beyond their expectations? Very powerful question to ask. And you see if the team has the commitment to do that, if the team has the mindset, the skills, and the resources. That's what the word ready there means. The word ready there is talking about your team, do you guys have the skills to serve your customers beyond their expectation? Do you have the equipment? Do you have the tools? Do you have the energy? Do you have the willingness? Do you have the commitment? Do you have the desire, the passion? That's the word ready to serve the customers beyond their expectations. And why do you need to serve customers beyond their expectations as a strategic leader or entrepreneurial leader? So that you can turn your customers to people that practice repeat and regular purchase all the time because they believe in the fact or in the point that this business, the way it is managed by an entrepreneurial leader, it always exceeds their expectations. We're going to provide answers to that question. You ask these 4 questions as an executive, and you provide answers to that question. So this is the 3rd assignment. This is the 3rd assignment. I need answers to these questions for you as an entrepreneur or as an executive. Okay, we continue. Entrepreneurial leaders ask the following personal questions and 6 answers. It's now time for you to ask the following questions and 5 answers. Get a pen and a journal ready to do this. Good. Now, remember the key word here is personal. Now, this is you. This is the 4th part of your assignment. Now, this is you as the entrepreneurial leader. You personally. Now, so this point is not about your business. It's not about your startup. It's about you. So when you're doing the exercise, I would like you guys to personalize it. I would like this part is talking about Kiara, is talking about Ingrid, it's talking about Honorine, talking about Donald, Boris. Like I would like you to personalize this part of the exercise, of the assignment. Who do you want to become? Like really, who do you want to become as an entrepreneur, as an executive? Do you want to become an authority in your industry that is respected, that when mentioned, they see that this is a humble professional who contributes academically by writing scientific papers that people can read and advance the course of knowledge or the industry, whatever, write that. What are you currently struggling with? Everybody is struggling with something, career-wise, personally for you. What are you presently struggling with? Write it down, because identification of your struggles is 50% chances that you're going to solve the struggle because you know what you're going through. Number 3 is, how would you like to contribute? How would you like to contribute? Imagine that you had a boss, you had a supervisor that listens to everything you say and implements. How would you like to contribute to that organization, to your startup? Number 4, what are you proud of and working on? Yes, what are you proud of? And you're currently working on it. Maybe you're about to launch a new product and you're so excited about that project. Write it down. That's what you're proud of. Maybe you're proud of how you're growing professionally, maybe by going through the Mini-MBA program, but by learning, acquiring new knowledge and getting new skills. Maybe you're proud of that. Write it down. Maybe you're proud of the contributions that you have brought to your department or to your company where you work. And you can see that the work that you have done in the last 3 months, last 1 month, has changed the way business is being done. And even though your supervisor is not recognizing the work that you have done, but you feel proud of the contributions that you have brought to the department, describe it, write it down. It's very important. I'm expecting this from everybody. Number 5, what is your emotional state and what is driving it? Presently, what is your emotional state? Are you passionate? Are you positive? Are you negative? Are you feeling neglected? Are you feeling that they don't value your organization? I want you to describe the emotional state and what is driving this particular state that you are in. Are you very happy right now where you are? What is driving it? Is it a good salary? Is it your colleagues? Is it your boss? Maybe it's because it's the industry you love to work in. Maybe you're working in the company you have always been passionate about, right? Whatever is driving your current emotional state. Number 6 is, what are your strengths? Write it down. What are your strengths? Are you a strategic person? Do you pay attention to details? Do you easily connect with people? Do you see things from different dimensions? Write down your strengths. Number 7, what could you learn? Looking at where you are right now, what would you like to learn? What new skill would you like to learn right now? Maybe you like to learn financial management. Maybe you like to learn Bitcoin. You want to learn machine learning or artificial intelligence. You want to learn how to use an app, whatever. Something. What could you learn that could make you a better executive, a better entrepreneur? Number 8, how can you create more happiness for yourself and others as an entrepreneur and as an executive? Maybe you can create more happiness by just choosing to be happy. Maybe by choosing to serve others, by choosing to stretch your potentials and study more to become better. How can you create more happiness for yourself? Do that. So this is the assignment that you have to do as far as this class is concerned. Good. Entrepreneurial leaders set goals that commands their thoughts, liberates their energy, inspires their hopes, and motivates their team. Andrew Carnegie, one of my favorite quotes. I hope it inspires you too. Good. If we are following, please indicate so that MTN is not disconnected.
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay.
Following, sir. Following. We're following.
Good. Okay, look at that quote. I love this quote a lot. It inspires me a lot. I hope it inspires you too. Entrepreneurial leaders set goals that commands their thoughts, right? You set goals that way. You look at it, but wait, remember me, then I go achieve and so, right? Yeah, it's like, you say, okay, you know what? 2021, I'm going to sell 50,000 units of my products, and I'm going to be 15 million francs richer, or 100 million francs richer. One of the goals I set this year, of course, I shared the group today, is to host one of my annual events in Dubai. That's one of my goals that has really, really command my thoughts. It has stretched me, like seriously. It does.
Let me be your own.
Laurentine. So do that. It's very inspiring for you to do that. So set goals that commands your thoughts, that stretches you, that sometimes make you to think further. You think deeper. You're finding innovative ways to achieve something, maybe at very minimal cost, and you're not giving up. Very powerful. And it liberates your energy. You are so excited doing it. You have this new set of energy, and it inspires your tomorrow. It inspires your hope. You're like, oh, you know what, man, I can do this, right? It inspires hope. Like the way, for me personally, the way this Dubai event is going, I'm already making plans for 2022 to organize an event in California, in the US. It's already, I've written it down, because the way the Dubai event is going is so exciting. Things are just falling into place. I'm stretching my thoughts. I'm pushing. I'm making calls. I'm reaching out to people I never dreamed I could reach out to. And the way they're getting back, it inspires my hopes for my own tomorrow, right? That's the power of being an entrepreneurial leader. You set goals that command your thoughts, liberate your energy, inspires your hopes, and then motivate your team. It motivates your team. Like, guys around me, friends I work with, are like, come on, man, what were you thinking of doing this? You know, I'm inspired by you. I'm coming with you. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm contributing this. I'm supporting with this. They feel so motivated and inspired. Like one of my friends today said, hey, Joybert, you know what? if you're staying in Dubai for 2 weeks, I am paying for your hotel bills. I'm like, seriously? You get a point? So that's the power of this. Sometimes people around you, even yourself, you're downgraded because you have nothing that commands your thoughts. You have nothing that liberates you. Everybody has some certain level of hidden energy that it will only be liberated when you do something that you are not comfortable with. You get a point? Stop doing like you stretch beyond your comfort zone and you do things that inspires your own tomorrow. It gives you hope for a beautiful tomorrow. And it also motivates your friends around you, motivate your volunteers and your employees, and they begin to see further and deeper for their own selves and for the vision that you have given them. So let this quote inspire you, write it down and consume it, let it fit into you, be part of your DNA, and to trust you will always make you better. Okay, six things that entrepreneurial leaders do. Very important. 6 things that entrepreneurial leaders do. Number 1, they don't wait for an opportunity, but they create one. They don't wait for an opportunity, but they do what? They create one. So start doing that from today. After this Mini-MBA program, I would like people to, guys that create opportunities. You don't wait for it, you create it. There's a popular saying that if you don't find a door, build a door and open it and walk through it, right? A lot of us live a major portion of our lives running the rat race, right? Like for example, maybe just decide, I know what, just be hosting my events in Cameroon and being a local champion, hosting my events in Nigeria, like in Malawi, in Liberia, just hosting local events in Africa, right? Yeah, I'm just a local African champion. But you know, you set it forward, you step it forward to the global stage, kind of. You stop running the rat race. You can stretch your finances, you know, say, you know what, I want to find more ways to make money. I want to have 6 sources of income, right? And an average, there's a research I read which says that an average millionaire in dollars has 7 sources of income. So if you have just 3 or 4, you need to work hard and have at least 7 ways that you make money. Have 7 ways that money comes to your life. Where all we are doing is complaining how bad things are and wishing something good will happen. Wake up, start taking actions that will create you more opportunities or put you where things happen. Like I was telling one of my mentees today, I told him you have to go to the Dubai event. You complain a lot. You have between now and October to raise money for that event. You need to start being in the room where things happen. You know, I always say that many people are disconnected from the global discourse or from opportunity discourse, and they complain a lot because they are not in places where opportunities are discussed. They are not in the room where people who design policies or influence things are in. If you don't find yourselves in circles like that, you'll always be outside. And you need to take actions to find yourself in circles like that. Number exercise, what will you do after this course to create opportunities? That's a personal question for you, not an assignment, personal question for you. I'm asking all of you, what will you do after this course to create opportunities? B, entrepreneurial leaders never quit learning. The day you stop learning, your business starts dying. Ernest Hemingway once said that there is nothing noble in competing with your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your former self. I love this quote also a lot. I love this quote by Ernest. There is nothing noble in competing with your fellow man. Stop being jealous of that woman, that man, your neighbor, your colleague. There's nothing noble about that. There's nothing noble competing with anybody. The only true nobility that you are permitted to perform from today as an entrepreneurial leader is being superior to your former self. Like today, the truth is that immediately from this class, you are already superior than your former self yesterday because you have learned something new. One of the best ways to be superior to your former self is to be where learning is happening. Take a course like this, read things, brainstorm, stretch yourself, read a book, buy magazines, attend events, paid or free. Be where you can, in short, be in a place, create an environment that gives you the opportunity to practice true nobility, which is being superior to your former self. Exercise, write the list of 3 books you read in the last 4 months. Those who did not read in the last 4 months, you have already failed the exercise. Abi? Let's do it in the chat box right now. I would like people to write any 3 books that they have read in the last 4 months, the title and the author. Let's go. When people sit quiet, I will just know that what has happened. Or you can say it. Bible is not a book, my friend. If you're a Christian, Bible is default. Bible is like water for you. Yes, ego is the enemy. Great book. Yes, who else? Write the title of the book and the author that you have read in the last 4 months. People are sitting quiet. There are just 2 people have written. Some you have written just Bible, so Bible is counsel. So Onde Boris has practiced true nobility. So come on, guys, you guys have to upgrade, man. If you are here and you are reading less than 1 book a month, you are behind news. You are behind your game. I'm telling you, you are behind your game. If you are, if I always say this: if you have clocked 20 and above, and you have not read at least 70 books in your entire life, then you are not permitted to be on the global stage, because you will not say anything that makes sense. You only say what you know from your village and what you studied in school, and you will not inspire anybody. Secrets of the Secret Place by Bob Search. Interesting book. I've not heard about it. I will look for it. Thank you for sharing, Raisa. The title sounds powerful. T.D. Jakes, oh, incredible man. On the 2 people I've read in the last 4 months, come on, guys. Let's go and repent after this. Go and repent after this. Great. The Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy. Yes, every entrepreneur, every executive needs to read that book. I think I have the soft copy. I'll check and share in the group. The Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy. If you call yourself an entrepreneur or a business executive, go and buy that book and read. Okay. Okay, write down the name of the book you are currently reading. Write down the names of 4 books you will read in the next 6 months. These 4 books is for lazy people, very lazy people. You need to 6 months, 1 book per month, that you are averagely lazy. The Struggle of an African Child. Excellent. Good, let's proceed. Well done to those who are reading and practicing true nobility. C, accept rejection, correct your mistakes, and improve yourself. Very powerful. Very, very powerful. The 3rd thing that you should be doing as an entrepreneurial leader, you accept rejection. Customers will reject you. You will do your work and your supervisor will reject you. But also, entrepreneurial leaders correct their mistakes and they improve themselves. Despite rejection, mistakes challenge yourself to improve and push your limits. Don't be stuck in a deadlock situation, doing nothing productive, accept, correct, and rise. As simple as that. There's no nobility in being ashamed to accept. True nobility is accepting, you know what, I made an error. I made these mistakes. I am willing to learn, I'm willing to correct, and I'm going to rise, and I'm going to conquer, and I'm going to build this business. If you are failing, take it positively. Learn from the mistakes and change your approach. That should be what you should do as an entrepreneurial leader. Number 4, grow in the environment and learn all you can. Grow in the environment and learn all you can. Yes, instead of complaining, oh, Cameroon is this, Cameroon is that. Since everybody don't have the opportunity to get a visa to leave Cameroon, it would have been empty by now, right? But learn to grow in the environment. Learn all you can about Cameroon and adapt and grow in this same environment. That's the meaning. Anybody with an entrepreneurial leadership mindset masters the art of learning about the environment, finding the gaps in the environment, leveraging on the opportunities, and growing in that same environment. The environment for you could be a current job site. It could be where your startup is operating. It could be Cameroon. It could be Africa. Whatever that you're doing. One thing that I'm very good at is studying the Cameroon environment and mastering it, how to use it for my advantage, my personal advantage, career, and business. That's one of the best ways to survive. What lessons can you learn from the environment? What will you do from today to consistently grow? Next thing that leaders do, entrepreneurial leaders do, is that they maintain consistency and they don't quit easily. They maintain consistency and don't quit easily. Rome wasn't built in a day. Hard work doesn't pay off instantly. You have to have the faith in yourself and be okay with potentially struggling. You need to keep your composure and be patient as the situations unfold in your favor. And being consistent doesn't stop the fact that you should be agile, you should be adaptable, because you cannot be consistent in what is not working. You should be consistent and improving. You should be consistent and dynamic. You should be consistent and innovative. You should be consistent and agile at the same time. But you have this one belief that in this journey of career growth, in this journey of business growth, in this journey of building this company, everything else is permitted to happen. But one thing is not permitted to happen. I am not permitted to quit. I am not permitted to give up on this business. I am permitted to fail and learn. I am permitted to try, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to improve. I'm going to innovate. I'm going to be agile. I will keep trying until I get the right business model that works and produces the result. Write down 3 value-creating routines and habits that you will consistently practice for the next 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years. Write down 3 value-creating routines and habits that you will consistently practice for the next couple of years. Next thing that you should do is have the motivation to take control of your life. Have the motivation to take control of your life. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. That is it. You take control of your life, of your career, of your business by making firm decisions. Self-discipline, by choosing to be in control of your life, by choosing to lead the discussion of your life, by choosing to be the person that can influence decisions, by being the person that will stretch and go the extra mile for the sake of the future that you see and you believe in that future. So the only person you are permitted to be is the person you are destined to become. And you have to decide through your actions, through your mindset, through your daily routine, through your habit, through having a clear vision, having a clear focus, to become that person and to build a career and the business that you desire. So describe who you have decided to be. Have you decided to be a failure or a success? Have you decided to be an authority in your field? Whatever you decide to be, do that. Next thing you have to do as an entrepreneurial leader is having faith in your abilities, despite what others tell you or what you hear or what they hear others say about themselves. Have faith in your abilities, despite what people say about yourself, despite what people tell others about you. Choose to have faith in your abilities, because your abilities directly affects the kind of business that you develop. Your abilities directly affects how you perform in your department, in that company where you work. And your level of belief, your level of self-confidence in your abilities will affect your performance. That is why one of the most dangerous negative things that can happen to an entrepreneur or to an executive is low self-esteem or self-doubt. It can destroy your performance. It can destroy your productivity. And that is why this may sound like a motivational session, but it is not. It is part of business building. It is part of entrepreneurship. Until you have faith in your abilities, that you can get the job done as an executive and entrepreneur, your productivity and your level of performance will always struggle. Have the understanding that whatever you are and whoever you are will shine through in the end. Whatever you have chosen to build as a business will stand. Whatever you have chosen to build as a career, whether it's a national career, and a continental career, a global career, have faith in your abilities to achieve whatever you have chosen to build as an executive. Write down the lessons you have learned from the things that entrepreneurial leaders do, and where will you apply them in your life or in your career and business. The last session for today, and we'll continue tomorrow. Core skills of entrepreneurial leaders. What are the core skills? This was a research done by the African Leadership University, that they said that, you know what, for somebody to succeed in Africa as an entrepreneurial leader, they need to have the following core skills. The first set, self-awareness. How much do you know yourself? How much do you know yourself? You need to have thorough knowledge about yourself, deep knowledge about yourself. Who are you? Your habits. What gets you angry? What makes you happy? What are you passionate about? What is your purpose? Number two, the second skills is proactivity. You don't wait for things to happen. You are proactive. You are not reactive. You are proactive. You take initiative. You are always ahead of the game. You don't wait for your alarm clock to ring before you get up. You proactively get up because you are excited about your passion and your dreams. The third one is lifelong values. You have to establish some lifelong values like learning. Like learning is a lifelong value, that you believe in learning every day. Lifelong values of hard work. Lifelong values of excellent delivery. Lifelong values of people relationship. Lifelong value of innovation. You have established lifelong values that are powerful. Next is self-improvement. Entrepreneurial leaders believe in self-improvement. Remember the quote we spoke about? True nobility is not competition or jealousy. True nobility is you being your superior self than who you were yesterday. Self-improvement. You're always improving yourself. Self-regulation, self-discipline. What we're talking about here is a core skill for an entrepreneurial leader. Self-regulation, self-discipline. Next is empathy. You need to empathize with your customers, empathize with your colleagues, empathize with your stakeholders, empathize and feel for other people, empathize and take action, design things according to empathy. Next is diversity. You are diverse. You are diverse in terms of religion, in terms of tradition, in terms of cultural values. You are very diverse. You are not very, very narrow-minded. You are very diverse in any community. You're in a workplace and there are Muslims, there are Pentecostals, there are Presbyterians, there are Catholics, there are pagans. You're diverse to deal with all of these people. Next is build relationships. Build relationships. And really does know how to build strong relationships with employees, customers, and stakeholders. Feedback. They welcome feedback. They welcome feedback from people. Next is collaboration. They know how to work with people. They know how to collaborate between various departmental heads, various entrepreneurs and executives. Systems thinking. They think in terms of systems. What is the recruitment systems? They build it. What is the customer acquisition system? They think in terms of system. We have done system design here. We have done sales systems. We have done distribution systems. That's how an entrepreneur leader thinks. They identify opportunities. We spoke about this. They practice human-centered thinking. That means whatever that they're building for their business, they put a human being at the center. How will a human being look at this? How will a human being appreciate this? How will a human being acknowledge this? How will a human being value this? Creativity and innovation, very important. They are always creative. They innovate. They find better ways of doing things. They find innovative ways of doing things. They find ways of connecting the dots, connecting different ideas from the communities and doing something extraordinary. That's what an entrepreneurial leader will do. And that's a skill that they need. The next is continuous iteration. That's continuous improvement, continuous learning, continuously being dynamic, being agile, not being stagnant, not saying that thing that as it used to be, so shall it continue to be. No. And really that doesn't say that. You're always continuously improving. You're always seeking better ways of improving your systems, improving your products, improving your models, improving your staff. You're always continuously iterating. Good. List all that you already possess as skills. List all that you have to acquire. What will you do to acquire them in the next 1 year? Okay, we're going to take questions now. And in the next class, tomorrow, of course, we're going to continue with types of entrepreneurial leaders and where you fall. All of you are going to fall in among these 4 types. Some of you may cut across 2 types. Some of you may be just 1. Some of you can cut across 3 or even all the 4. I've seen it happen several times like that. So we'll look at that tomorrow and we'll discuss about it interactively. You tell me, okay, this is where you fall and why do you think you fall in that particular class? And I'm going to give examples of why you think you're a particular entrepreneurial leader in this direction. Questions? Questions?